Sure. Oh. So, I could feel as the nerves start taking over my body. My Spanish suddenly starts turning into an unknown studying language. You're on 5. I hear the director yelling at us. So, I take a deep breath and I smile. Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Seguimos su programa Hogar al Día. And that is the one and only phrase I know how to introduce our fashion segment for the show Hogar al Día. And I can identify my culture as a segment presenter for the show Hogar al Día. And a segment presenter is basically like it plays a smaller role than a host, like a TV host. So what we do is, like, for example, when you see a TV show, the weather lady or the people who give like tips, you don't really see them in the show, just like for 2 minutes, I guess. So that's me, and I'm in the show Hogar al Día, and that show is basically it's for the channel Verávisión, and that show is from 8 o'clock to 10 in the morning, and it introduces entertainment, games, jokes, and news reports, and interviews, games too. So, so today what I brought is a media pass, and this press media pass is basically used by it's used by news reporters, journalists or photographers to like get a report in the whatever event they're trying to cover. And this is mine. And the media pass is it identifies the role we play in wherever event we're trying to cover, and it's also like it's very important because it's like an ID to us. It distinguishes you from the crowd. This media pass is gonna allow you guys to understand like kind of the role I play in my cultural artifact, which is a segment presenter. And today I will be presenting to you guys how I can identify to my culture and to my artifact object. So as you can see, this is a pass, and although most of the work I do is inside a studio, like presenting stuff, I wasn't able to bring a camera or a microphone, but here's my pass. So I guess my ID. And although it's just a pass, to me it's very important because I get to think like, oh, it's a key to all entertainment because you could get into events, you could for movie premieres, events, and everything, and it's something that motivates me to keep on like going into the media news. So the first time I used this pass was for the Fashion Week, the LA's Fashion Week. How do you guys do that? You guys don't watch it? Fashion shows? Well, that was my first event I got to cover for the spring, and it was a really cool experience, you know, like being able to see what's new in the fashion industry and getting to like see crazy stuff what's going down there. It was one of the stuff that really stood out to me was 2 guys, like they were in high heels and like their tidy whities with like a plastic bag. So I guess that just shows that fashion is not what's in, but it's also like how you express yourself. Now I'm going to talk about how I identify to my culture. And I started by doing school plays, and I was never any of the lead roles. I was mostly just like an extra, and I was okay with that because I'm really shy and I don't really like talking in public. So I guess, but it was like a fun experience. And I recently started in the show in the summer of 2012. My friends, they actually worked there, so they needed like a backup for Zumba. They wanted to introduce fitness to the program, so they started doing Zumba, and they asked me to like be one of their backup Zumba dancers. So I started in that, and then like after that I started modeling with them, and one of my first modelings I did with them was for like dresses, like 15 dresses, and also like for 15 expos. And so that's where I started. And the first time I started talking in the show was barely for, I don't know if you guys know Ponce de Leon. He's a boxer. So that was the first time I ever talked. It was in his gym's grand opening. And so today I talked to you guys about my cultural artifact and how I relate to my object. And I hope you guys can tune in with us at Veravision.tv. And I know it's online right now. They used to be on on like national TV, but we kind of took it down to do some paperwork on it. But it's gonna go back soon because our ratings are going up. So.